Good evening, Rider Nation. Doug Spencer here along with John Schwab talking about McGuffey Lane coming to downtown St. Mary's December 7th. And we want to give a shout out to our fine sponsors who are helping make this happen. The Friendly Tavern, TNT Auto Sales, America's Best Value Inn, Eagle 767, and Guarneri's Pizzeria. Make certain you stop in and thank those fine folks by patronizing their business. So when you think of McGuffey Lane, you think of a group recognized as some of Central Ohio's finest musicians ever assembled. They've toured with the Allman Brothers, the Judds, Marshall Tucker Band, and the Charlie Daniels Band. Yeah. They released their self-titled album. Now, take this and think about this thought on their own independent record label. In 1980? You guys had to be like one of the few pioneers to do something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't done much back then, but and plus we were still vinyl.
Yes, yep, most definitely, and it caught a wave, and Atco Records, which had an affiliation with Atlantic Records, then re-released that under their name. You sell 40,000 initially under your own Paradise Island Records, and then you hit 175,000 plus with Atco Records.
Right.
Pretty amazing. And again, self-released, and it was a self-titled album. You think of McGuffey Lane, you think of phenomenal musicianship, vocal harmonies, steel guitars, harmonica playing with some serious indelible guitar signature licks that resonated with fans still 50 years down the road. And we are bringing them to downtown St. Mary's for the 50th anniversary tour. And you're going to hear powerful, poignant, and pure poetic lyrics that people today still sing to. John, thanks so much for being here, and looking forward to having you in downtown St. Mary's December 7th.
Well, thanks for all those kind words.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're talking about us?
I think so, yeah. So you've got a few St. Mary's connections. Over a decade ago, McGuffey Lane played at the Holy Rosary Festival. And then one of our alums, Scott Steinecker, has a connection to you as well. You want to talk about that?
Oh, Scott, yes. Scott, actually, McGuffey Lane was like the first band that Scott ever promoted up in Lima. He always makes a point of telling how much money he lost, which I wish why you got to throw me under the bus, Scott? But now Scott's, he's probably one of the most successful independent promoters in the country. And we've remained friends, and we're sitting in one of his places right here, which is called Kimba Live.
And it's awesome that we're sitting here at Kimba Live, downtown Columbus, to be able to do this interview.
I actually played at his wedding up in St. Mary's.
Oh, another connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, glad that you guys established that relationship, and here we are bringing McGuffey Lane to downtown St. Mary's at the Restored Theater. As McGuffey Lane was touring around, Auglaize, Mercer, Darke counties was definitely on the tour list. What memories from back in the day do you have, and particularly outside of Versailles? I think the Lost Sea was kind of a home base for you to go to. Yeah,
we played a lot at the Lost Sea, and I mean, it was in Versailles, Ohio, which I don't even know if has a population of 200, but would ever be 4,000 or 5,000 people at those gigs. And but all through that area, all the way up through Lima, and I think we played almost all those little towns at one point.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a festival or a street festival or a fair or somebody's backyard, but it was the 70s and the early 80s, so my memories are a little fuzzy.
So for those unfamiliar with McGuffey Lane, John, how would you characterize the style or the genre of the band, and maybe who influenced the style and the genre?
Well, it's most usually referred to as country rock, but that kind of infers, southern kind of a thing. We were more kind of like, we came from like Crosby, Stills and Nash and the Byrds, the Beatles, bands like that were a big influence on us with acoustic instruments and the rocking guitars too. So out of the 6 original members, the 3 surviving guys are still on stage.
And if you're going to create your own music, you have to have somebody who's going to write the music. and you are one of those who did a lot of the writing. And with the self-titled debut, the side A was Long Time Lovin' You.
Yes.
And that's yours, right?
Yes.
Did you know that was going to be a song that resonated with people for 5+ decades when you wrote it?
I knew when it first came out of me, because it was just kind of a thing where you go looking for the muse, and you're just kind of like just free-forming, and all of a sudden that first line of the chorus came out, and I knew it was pretty good. Knew it was good enough to finish writing the song, but no, I don't think I had any idea.
Songs that you're going to hear, you might hear songs about bartenders.
Yeah.
Legends, friendships, life on the road. You might hear a love song or two.
Yeah.
Stagecoaches. And by gosh, you might even hear a song about a railroad.
Yeah. Maybe one about a gas station attendant.
And a gas station attendant. Awesome. So Saw Crush opens up ahead of McGuffey Lane. And then on Friday, we have the Dean and Andy acoustic duo, and they're opening up for Exploit Deluxe. You can get that combo ticket by going to GrandOperaHouseLive.com. Rider Nation, St. Mary's Theater has a dandy of a performance for you December 7th. John, thanks for taking the time to talk to Rider Nation about McGuffey Lane and the upcoming concert. Any last words for Rider Nation?
I was when you said buy a ticket for both nights. Do they have to buy a ticket for both nights, or?
Good clarification point. Yeah, if you go to the website, you can get a ticket for just Friday night.
Okay.
You can get a ticket for just Saturday night, or you can get a deal.
Okay.
And get the combo ticket.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep, I'm glad you clarified that.
Well, I would like to say this. We've played all over that area over there, Rider Nation.
Yep.
We played all, and I'll tell you, we never had a bad time. I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. And, John, on behalf of Rider Nation Station, I want to present you with the Rider Nation Station hat. And we look forward.
Man.
Yeah, it's awesome. We look forward to having you in downtown St. Mary's December 7th. And to end, I'm going to borrow one of the great lines from McGuffey Lane's top hit, Long Time Lovin' You. I knew yesterday what you're going to say tomorrow, so let me say it for you. Goodbye. Thanks to our sponsors, Friendly Tavern, TNT Auto Sales, America's Best Value Inn, Eagle 767, and Guarneri's Pizzeria. Peace.
Terry Ball, that steel over there.